Hey yo, what's up everyone? It's your boy CrispPurpose back at it again with another Gems of War Guild Wars attack team video for you guys. So the restriction for the upcoming Guild Wars is Suncrest troops. Pretty interesting restriction. The reason being there's a lot of solid damage dealers there, but sometimes they're kind of all over the place. But I think that this is going to be an easier Guild Wars in comparison to the previous Guild Wars, right? So we had the Blighted Lands before, which was not that easy, but now we have a lot stronger selection of troops to pick from. I think that many players should be able to make it through with the teams that I'm going to be showcasing in this video. So in this video, we're going to be looking at about 6 teams, man. They're a pretty interesting combination of teams. Some that you might not be thinking of, some that you might have thought of before. But stick around because the teams are going to be following up right after this. So this is the first team that I think that a lot of players are going to be using for the upcoming Guild Wars. So Quilsama is going to be at the top of this team. Divine Strix with a 26 mana cost of green, yellow, and purple. Spell is Daybreak. It deals scatter damage, right? Boosted by chosen gem color, except yellow. You want to keep that in mind. The boost ratio is boosted by a chosen gem color except yellow. So if you pick yellow, you don't boost ratio. I want to point that out, right? Then it will remove, or rather, create 10 yellow gems and remove all gems of that chosen color. Interesting troop to use. Why? Because you can loop, right? Really, really good troop for use because you can loop. It allows you just to deal damage to the enemy and control the board. The troop also has a light storm in the traits, so starts battles with a light storm, which is a yellow storm, and then the Eternal Dawn final trait allows it to have a 20% chance to resurrect with full mana whenever it dies. So whether they kill you or just make sure you're not stunned by the time the troop dies, and you have a percentage chance to bring it back, right, with full mana. Then secondly, on the team, we have the quintessential weapon for this Guild Wars. I personally believe that it is the essential weapon for this Guild Wars, the Golden Talon. This is an explodey type weapon, which is a dagger for the kingdom, but it explodes yellow gems and then it grants a random status effects to all Strix allies, and it will summon a Strix troop. So, for example, if you use this with any other class, it's really good. Use it with the Strix class, which is Stormcaller. It's going to be really, really cool. The best thing about this weapon, though, is that if you check the weapon upgrades right here, let's go over here. The weapon has for the final upgrade light. It will create a light storm, which is a yellow storm, every single time you cast this weapon. And then the weapon has curing, so it will cleanse myself. In Guild Wars, the ability to cleanse is essential, right? So yeah, that's the main weapon for me for this event. Explodes yellow, creates a yellow storm. What that sound like to you? It sounds like Mountain Crusher, right? It explodes brown, creates a brown storm. This explodes yellow, creates a yellow storm. Elementalist is the class. For this one, it just works so well. You have the ability to stun, freeze, and entangle the enemies. You stun them or freeze them on the start of the battle, and you have a great setup of traits with a rock solid, the lightning strike. It all works very, very well. Then we have an underworld troop here, which is Queen Zachi. This is a Strix as well from the same kingdom, of course, and also a Mystic. It deals AoE damage, magic plus 3 damage to all enemies. And if there's a storm, it will explode 5 gems. Um, Let me take a look here. And at the back of the team, we have Ehekal. This is going to be here as my empowered start, creating a yellow storm. Also has a yellow. This is all about yellow right here. Of course, you want to pay attention to the fact that players might seek to counter yellow for this Guild Wars because a lot of the troops from this kingdom, they use yellow mana. So it could be problematic, right? So Yellow Storm converting blue gems to yellow, and then also Yellow Storm in the class. Let's take a look at the banner on this one. The banner here is from the same kingdom. So we're using the Talon banner from Suncrest. It's a +2 on yellow, +1 on green. We're minusing blue because we're converting it away with Heckle, at least at the start. We'll eventually get more blue on the board as the gems pop. So let's hop into a fight here, Central Spire, showcase how this team can actually work out. All right, so first off, you want to look for your converts for your troops. So we have one convert right there. That's not the best. So let's just match this. And now let's look around for more converts here. Let's go at it again. And we got to rotate the board as much as possible to get these troops spell ready.
All right, let's match some gems because we have a very slow board. That will happen in Guild Wars, right? That will happen in Guild Wars no matter what. Sometimes the fights are slower, but nonetheless, you'll get it working for yourself. All right, so now let's target down brown here. Put a lot of yellow gems on the board. There we go. And as you can see, Quilzama is controlling the board. It allows you some level of board control, which is exactly what you want to see in Guild Wars. Let's remove purple here, and there we go. As you can see, we have our Queen Zachi spell ready. We can cast her for big AoE damage, and there you go. Of course, it's not going to be that fast in Guild Wars. This is a one trophy battle in PvP Central Spire, but nonetheless, you get the gist of the team. You loop with your Quilzama as much as possible. Follow up with some mana generating from the Golden Talon if you need to. If you lose your Quilzama, you can resummon something in with your Golden Talon. And then Queen Zachi is going to be here as well for dealing some AoE damage with additional board control because she explodes 5 gems. I should point out as well, Queen Zachi has the ability to summon a Harpy Mage when matching 4 or more gems. A 35% chance. That's really, really good. Every single time you match a 4 gem match, you have ability to resummon something, and you have a resummon off the weapon, and you have a resurrection ability of the first troop. This is a team that is designed to stay alive, right? That's all it is. A team that's designed to stay alive. The second team is going to be following up right after this. So here is the second team for the upcoming Guild Wars restricted to Suncrest troops, right? Along with weapons as well. So Garuda is going to be on this team. This is an Elemental Strix, 15 mana cost of red and yellow. Spell is Fiery Rain, in which it will summon a Firestorm, which is a red storm. Then it will deal magic plus 4 damage to all enemies, and it will gain 1 magic boosted by red gems. This is actually a decent troop to use on your team, particularly because you want to use along with it Phoenicia, right? Phoenicia is a well known troop, Elemental Strix as well, deals damage, right? Magic plus 1 damage to all enemies, boosted by red gems and burning enemies. And if there's a firestorm, it will deal double damage. So what you want to do, you want to cast your Garuda, then you follow up with Phoenicia, allowing Phoenicia to deal double damage. Really, really solid option here for attacking in the upcoming Guild Wars. I want to point out as well, Garuda also has the Naga Slayer, double skull damage versus Naga troops, and it has fireproof, so it's immune to burning and fair fire. And it also has that final trait, the soaring final trait. Allied Strix will gain 5 life and attack. That's just 5 life and attack, period. Not every single turn or when you match gems, no, just 5 life and attack. As you can see, once again, we have the Golden Talon at the top of the team for a resummoning and, of course, for generating mana for the team. And at the back, we have Vehicle for an empowered start. Now, you want to keep in mind, though, that some enemy teams might have Submerge, right? You want to pay attention to that. They might have Submerge. So you want to look out for the talents on the enemy troops and the traits that they are not triggering Submerge because a lot of the troops in this kingdom are AoE damaging troops. So you want to look on the enemy team to ensure that they're not running Submerge. The banner on this team is the Burning Banner from the Fire and Fury Warbands. So this is a +2 on red. And then we're minusing yellow. No, we're minusing blue. We're plussing 1 on yellow. All right, let's hop into a fight here against Jet Sky, and he's using a pure elemental team. It seems this could be problematic. I'm not gonna lie. This looks like it could be a problematic team, and we are frozen at the start. But we're gonna take those. Ooh, we're still gonna go for it. We're brave like that. We're brave. We're brave. All right, let's go for the explode right here. See if I can get my Phoenicia spell ready. Pretty good. There we go. Enemy team is going at it. So we cast that one. Then we follow up with this one. That's how we do it, right? Of course, they have a really powerful, weapon over there. That what's it called? That weapon is no joke. So we're gonna go for an explosion here. Didn't get the best movement, but the skull should allow us to kill him. And there we go. We got the win. You get the gist of the team. You cast Garuda, follow up with Phoenicia. Once you cast Garuda first, um, Phoenicia will deal double damage because the Firestorm will be there because Garuda summons that Firestorm in. Very simple concept, nothing hard to execute here, but you want to pay attention to the enemy team that they don't have Submerge because Submerge is a full counter to AoE damage. That is the second team. The third team is going to be following up right after this. So Harpy Mage is going to be on the top of this third team for the upcoming Guild Wars that is restricted to Suncrest. Right, so Harpy Mage is an easily acquired epic troop from the Stone Song Airy faction. So we showcased first team had a faction troop, and now the third team has another faction troop, and it's really, really cool to see. 14 mana cost spell is Storm of Claws, and it will conjure a dust storm, and it will has the ability to explode gems of a mana color of an ally that you pick. And that's basically it for the spell. Pretty good spell. It has a lot of synergy. I'm sure everyone has seen and used Harpy Mage in some capacity, right? The best thing about the troop, though, is the final trait on the troop, right? The Swift trait, 75% mana start. This is the second best trait in comparison to like Empowered, right? So if a troop doesn't have Empowered, you see it has Swift. There you go. Really, really good talent, or trait, I should say, on the final one. It's the second turn Empowered, you would say, if you have like an enchant going on. The troop also has the Deadly Flock second trait, so 25% chance to summon a Blade Wing when an enemy dies. A Blade Wing is another faction troop from the same Stone Song Airy faction. Really good for an instant killer in the faction. So a resummon is always good to see on any troop right there at the top of this team. Then once again, we have the Golden Talon right here and executing the Elementalist hero class for the class of choice. Then we have the biggest damage dealer in the kingdom, the strongest, I should say, Ruby Wrath, right? This is the Gem Dragon for red. Um, Mana color is red, yellow, and brown. Spell is Ruby Beam. It will deal, I think this is magic times 2.5 or 2.35, something like that. Right, damage to all enemies boosted by red gems, and it will convert 5 red gems to red giant gems. There's a 10% chance for an extra turn boosted by red gems. The troop has a Firestorm in the talents. That's the first trait, the Song of Fire. That's gem skills, a 55% skull damage reduction, and then the Ruby Aura final trait. It will give 2 magic to all red allies when matching red gems. Really cool to see on this team, man. And of course, Heckel is empowering us into a very fast start. You notice as well, this is a strong yellow team, but the way the gems roll around here is really accommodating, right? So Harpy Mage is exploding whatever color you pick. Then it creates a brown storm. That brown is soaked up by the Ruby Rat. And once again, the Ruby Rat is able to give more magic along with generating more mana for the team with those giant gems, giving 3 troops on the team red mana if indeed you need to get it, right? Pretty cool option here. Let's hop into a fight once again in Central Spire. Let's blow through this quickly so we can move on to the 4th team for the upcoming Guild Wars. So of course, once you see the board start off like this, there's no alignment. There's always alignment. Why? Because you have Harpy Mage, right? So you just match this. There you go. You are spell ready, and you can go ahead and target down whichever gem you want to explode. So for example, I want to go for something for Ruby Wrath. There we go. We are exploding the gems, and we can just match gems to get Ruby Wrath up and going. Now, if you see you have a convert, like for example, right here, right here, you can go ahead and cast your Heckel to convert the gems on the board. That's really cool. Make sure you take off all those 4+ gem matches, big AoE damage, and then you can just follow up and get the true spell ready again. Where are we gonna go here? All right, there we go. And as you guys can see, we are ready to go. And the enemy team isn't that strong. We're not really worried about them. Now we can use Harpy Mage once again, target down there and explode the gems. And if you want to just match them, there you go. Both Harpy Mage along with the Golden Talon um, generate mana. It's just really, really cool. Heavy damage dealers surrounded by mana. That's how I like to build teams. A lot of mana is essential, a lot of board control, and then we just let the damage dealer do its thing. We have a lot of resummoning abilities for this Guild Wars, and that's what you really want to see. You really want to see great ways to get troops resummoned because let me tell you, RNG is a pain in this game. The 4th team for Guild Wars is going to be following up right after this. And this right here is the 4th team for the upcoming Guild Wars. Harpy Eagle is going to be at the top of this team. This is another turn 2 empowered troop, right? From the kingdom. It has Swift right there in the talents. And along with that, it has the eagle eye first trait. This is one of the most powerful traits in Gems of War, right? Placing a hunter's mark on enemies when doing skull damage is crazy powerful. Why? Because hunters marked enemies take double skull damage, right? The troop also has the ability to dodge skull damage with the agile second trait. 11 mana cost on a troop like this is really, really cool because it just gets spell ready so fast. The troop also has the ability to jumble the enemy team somewhat with the soaring dive spell, in which it will destroy a column. Then it will deal damage to the last enemy, boosted by yellow gems, destroyed. Then it will also pull them to the first position, right? Pull them to the front. It's gonna be really, really good so you can bang and deal some heavy damage to that sucker. Really good as well. If there's an annoying troop at the back of the enemy team, just yank him up to the front, knock him out real fast. Then we have on the team Swan May. This is a beast human from the kingdom. Not the usual pick here, but I'm going to put this one on a team. Why? Because this is a more skull focused team and it counters yellow, right? Just in case players are thinking they can come and, mess with you somewhat and put a team that can counter yellow, you're going to counter it yourself first, right? So 14 mana cost on this one. Spell is Deceptive Beauty, in which it will give 3 mana to all other allies for each lycanthropy gem on the board. But that's not the main focus of the spell, even though it can be useful. We're going to be using it for the final part of the spell right there. It will convert yellow gems to skulls. You're going to smack those suckers into dust with this bad boy. The traits on the troop is Mana Shield and, of course, lycanthropy, 50% chance to convert a purple gem to a lycanthropy gem when my turn begins. Not the best trait you want to see, but you can use it. You know what I mean? And of course, Golden Talon is going to be right there in the third slot, followed by, in fact, if you want to, you can rotate the Golden Talon with the Swan May, just in case you lose your Harpy Eagle, you summon something in real fast so as to not completely lose your main damage dealer. On this one, he echoed at the back of this team. The banner here is the Lantern banner from the Shenten Kingdom. So this is a +2 on yellow, +1 on red. They were minus in green. It doesn't really matter that much because I don't want to get my Harpy Eagle spell ready. And not majority of times. I just want to skull these suckers into dust. That's the focus, man. Let's hop into a fight in Central Spire and see if we can blow through this battle. All right, so first assignment, you know how it is. You know how it is to get these suckers spell ready. So, all right, let's match some gems here since it's not stacking up to be the best start. And let's convert some gems. Great. So now we can go ahead and explode these gems off the board. Hopefully we get one of these suckers like Lycanthropy. There we go. We did. We got him. And we have our Harpy May spell ready, so we can go ahead and start converting some gems here. So convert yellow. There we go. 1 kill. Almost good on the second kill right there. And now we need to get some mana here. All right, let's match this. Leprechaun's going to be exploding some gems. And we want to look for mana for or converts. There we go. There we go. There we go. Tesla, bye bye. And goodbye. There it is. That's how this team works. Really solid damage dealer. The double damage versus Hunter's Marked enemies is cool. And separate and apart from that, it just works well, man. Nice synergy with the explosion. I wish I could add on an additional um skull converter like Swan May, but there's nothing in the kingdom, to be honest. I don't think I remember seeing anything that worked as well. If you guys remember something that could work really well in this team, let me know. I would love to slot it in. But for the time being, that's how it's going to be working. The Harpy Eagle, followed by the Golden Talon, followed by Swan May, and then Eagle at the back of the team. I think we're on to the fifth team. It's going to be following up right after this. So this fifth team for the upcoming Guild Wars is a more cleanse focused team, simply because of one option here, which is the High Priestess Cheska. This troop right here is the legendary troop that has a similar final trait to the Stormcaller class, right? The Eternal Dawn final trait conjures a light storm every single turn. Separate and apart from that, the troop also has the ability to bless all yellow allies, right? So you really want to ensure your entire team uses yellow mana, and that's very easy when you look at the Suncrest Kingdom, right? Every single troop on this team uses yellow mana. So when you cast this, you get a complete team bless. The entire team is blessed up, and you're immune to all those negative status effects. And that's going to be very important because a lot of the enemy teams are going to be using elementalists, right? So they're going to freeze you at the start. Hopefully, you're able to get this spell ready and just cleanse every single troop on your team. The Ruby Wrath is going to be at the back of this team once again in the third slot. High Priestess Cheska in the second slot. And of course, the Golden Talon is going to be at the top of this team. Vehicle is empowering. I think the banner is very similar to the first banner that we use, which is the Talon banner. And yeah, let's go. Central Spire. This is the fifth team. Only one team left. Right. So first assignment, as we usually see, is convert, 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 convert. Right. Convert gems, get everybody going. As you can see, High Priestess Chiska is almost is fully ready to go. Oh, there we go. Nice. As you can see, we have the entire enemy team locked in. And if we want to get the cleanse, we go right ahead. There we go. Full team cleanse because we're all blessed up, right? No negative status effects can affect us, especially not the elementalist class. Works really well. I like using it, but of course, if indeed you see, I'm almost certain that players are going to be using the boss troop of Maelstrom Dagonaut, right? I'm almost certain Maelstrom Dagonaut players are going to be using it. Let me see if I can find that sucker here to point out what I'm talking about. Don't want to lead anybody into this and not pay attention to this very important thing. So where's that sucker? Here he is, Maelstrom Dagonaut, right? Kill an enemy. They're going to use this a lot. Why they're going to use it? Because the aquatic trait, right? It will submerge myself when I take damage. If you see this on an enemy team, you want to ensure that you have this troop right here from Suncrest on your team. I think his name is Pavus or Pavis. This troop right here, the boss slayer, right? Really good boss slayer, 12 mana cost, really cool. Slot him on the team, he will take care of that. He will one shot that sucker. You know what I mean? So keep in mind that if you see that troop pop up, go grab this, put him in the team, like right here, and smack that boss troop into dust. I think players tend to forget that that Maelstrom Dagonaut is a boss troop, so you can just kill him with the boss slayers really, really fast. The final team for the upcoming Guild Wars is going to be following up right after this. So this is the final team for the upcoming Guild Wars restricted to Suncrest. Harpy Nightsong is a newer faction troop from the Stonesong Airy faction, 13 mana cost, Strix troop, deals true scatter damage. And if there is a storm, it will deal double damage. Not the most powerful, but nonetheless a decent troop to use. I would recommend this team for players that don't have all the troops, want to participate in guild wars, and you're in a lower guild, but you still want to participate, gain some of the rewards and stuff like that. So we're going to be having 2 copies of the Harpy Night Song on this. The troop also has the Rocky Death trait, in which it will summon a dust storm when an enemy dies, and it has the Harpy Flock trait as well, a 5% chance to summon a harpy when my turn begins. So that is cool to have 2 copies, 5% chance each to resummon something when your turn begins. There it is. And once again, Golden Talon, Hiekel. Right, let's hop into a fight. I think this is the mirror banner here. Yeah, this is the mirror banner from the Mirrored Hall faction. +2 on yellow, +1 on blue. Then we're minusing red because only Echo uses that color, and he is empowered. Let's go, final team. Right, so let's match some gems, get everything rolling here, get everything going, and let's convert something. Hopefully we get our troop spell ready really fast. Should be pretty simple. Shouldn't be hard at all. Ooh, yeah, a lot of cascading gems over there. What the hell? What the hell? All right, let's explode some gems. See if we can get our Nipey, our what am I talking about? Our Harpy Night Song spell ready. Tripping. All right, so we have both troop spell ready, and their Beatrix are all locked up and can't do nothing. Let's make sure our cleanse is going on right there. Deal some more damage. Guys can see, very easy team to use. Of course, I'm killing them a little bit quicker because I have more magic. But nonetheless, you get the gist. True damage, always good to use. Always good to use. So there it is, guys. Hopefully, guys and gals found this video helpful and informative. If you did, remember to smash that like button, man, and share the teams, man. Share the video. First, it would be good if you tell people about the teams, but even better, share the video with them. Be like, yo, check this out. Here's 6 teams from Crisp Purpose for the upcoming Guild Wars. See what fits for you. And if you know of any other teams that you might want to, or other troops that I didn't point out, am I not using? Let me know in the comment section. I'll catch you all next one. Peace.